In this session, we are going to discuss how to display a off-diamond star pattern in Java. So the structure of off-diamond looks something like this. Let's see how to solve this sort of star patterns in Java. The first step what you guys need to do is, first we need to check how many number of spaces and how many number of stars we're printing in each line. So the first step what you guys need to do is, we have to count how many number of spaces and number of stars in each line. Okay, so now let's count it now. So let's take a variable called star and let's take another variable called space. Okay, so in the first line, how many number of star I have? 1. In the second line I have 2. In the third line I have 3. In the fourth line I have 4. And in the last line I have 5. So in the first line I have 1 star. In the second line I have 2 stars. In the third line I have 3 stars. And then in the fourth line I have 4 stars. And in the last line I have 5 stars. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's count how many number of spaces has been need to be left before each star. Okay, so try to count it from the last line, so that would be very easy for us to count the spaces. So here we have 5 stars, so we don't want to give any kind of gap, any kind of space over here. So first I can say here your space is 0 over here. And the above line, the space is going to be 1 space, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, before that we have 1 space. Here we have 2 space. Here we have 3. Here we have 4. So your first line we have to give 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need to print star. And then in the second line we have 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. And then we need to print another remaining star, and then 2 space, and then we need to print another remaining star, and then we have only 1 space, and then we have to print the another remaining stars, and then 0 space, and then 5 stars. So your space is actually 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So your star is getting incremented and your space is getting decremented. And then you guys need to notice that after printing an each star, there is a space. Okay, so let's see how we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so let's write our structure of star pattern over here. Okay, so now we have count a space is incrementing, your space is decrementing, that is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and your stars need to be increment on the each line, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So what we are going to do is, for printing and space we are going to write one for loop. For printing the stars we are going to write one for loop. Okay, so now let's see number of lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's take a for loop in I is equal to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 lines, right? So in the 5 lines we need to print the spaces as well as a star. So I'm going to say int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. So now we have to print spaces first. So here I need 4 space, right? And then only I need to print how many number of star? 1 star. So in the first for loop we are going to print spaces. For that I am going to say for int j is equal to 1, j should be less than or equal to space and j plus plus. In this case, we have to print system.out.print space. So now it's going to print j is equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 4, yes, then it's going to give 1 space, and then j is going to become 2, 2 is less than or equal to 4, yes space, j is going to become 3, 3 is less than or equal to 4, yes space, and 4 is less than or equal to 4, yes. When 5 is less than or equal to 4, a condition would be fail. Now what it need to do? It go for another for loop over here. Let's take in k is equal to 1. Now k should be less than or equal to star k plus plus. Now here we are going to say system.out.print star. So after printing each star, we need to leave some space, right? So I'm going to enclose it after giving some space over here, so that it will print space after printing each star under each line. So now what we have to do is we have to declare int star is equal to 1, int space is equal to 4, because we have 4 spaces and then 1 star in the line, right? Based on that, we need to declare the variable over here. So now see, we have 5 lines, right? So I have declared here the main for loop. I is equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 5. Condition goes inside. J is equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 4. So in the first for loop, it's going to give 4 spaces. When j became 5, 5 is less than or equal to 4, a condition would be not satisfies, so that it go for the next for loop. Now here it's going to check k is equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 1. So here condition is true, it's going to print star. Okay, when k became 2, the condition would be failed, right? After that, what we need to do, your space need to be decrement, right? For that we are going to say space minus minus means a4 is going to become 3 in the next line, and then your star is going to be increment. So your star would become 2 now, and space would become 3, right? So now here condition goes here, I became 2, 2 is less than or equal to 5, condition goes inside. Now your space is going to be 3, your star is going to be 2. The next line it's going to give 3 spaces, and then when it is coming out of it, it's going to print another remaining 2 stars. Okay, similarly it's going to print other stars in the remaining lines. Let's go and write your program on this. So let's take your class as diamond. So the first line we are going to say space. So your space is going to start with 4 and star is going to be 1. So we are going to take a for loop. The first for loop going to tell us how many number of lines a star is going to print it. So we have 5 lines, so I should be less than or equal to 5 I plus plus. So inside this we are going to write 2 for loop, one for loop for printing the spaces, another for loop is used for printing the stars. So let's take if for in k is equal to 1, here k should be less than or equal to space k plus plus system dot out dot print. I'm just going to give print, and then I'm going to say it's going to give space over here. After printing 4 stars in the first line, and then in the same line it need to print star, right? So for that I'm going to take another for loop. J is equal to 1, j should be less than or equal to star j plus plus system dot out dot println. Here it's going to print star. After printing each star, need to give space over here. Here also I'm going to remove the println statement. Perfect. See, this for loop is printing the spaces, and this another for loop is used for printing the stars. Okay. After that, what we are going to do, after that your cursor should come to the next line, right? For that I'm going to give a println. For that I'm going to give system.out.println over here, and then we have to increment the star, and then we need to decrement the space. Okay, perfect. Let's go and run the program. Diamond.java. So let's call our compiler. Perfect Java. Perfect. See, it's printing perfectly. First line it's printing how many number of space, 4 space, and then printing 1 star. And when it is coming to our next line, so your println statement, your cursor will come to the next line. Your star is going to increment to 2 and space is going to decrement to 3. So when it comes here, 3 spaces, 2 star. When it comes to the next line, your star is going to be 3 and space is going to be 2. So it's going to give 2 spaces and then 3 stars. So until the outer for loop I less than or equal to 5 condition fail, it prints the star. See, after printing each star, it's giving us the space over here. Okay, so this is how you guys need to print your diamond pattern in Java. Similarly, I want you guys to take an assignment based on this. So the one is, I'm going to give 5 stars over here, and then 4, and then 3, and then 2, right? So first you need to calculate spaces and stars in the each line. Okay, after we count that, we have to see which one need to be increment and decrement. Okay, so and then here we have to say whether in the for loop which one I need to print first, whether spaces or stars. So I want you guys need to take this as an assignment and please complete it and share it to me, guys.